remember this picture, that that body is sitting there for hours while everyone else goes home. Okay?
So instead of doing enforcement on the highways, we decided to do an educational event by creating this simulated collision. Basically, what you see here is not going to happen in real life because the fatality of the young girl, she will never ever stand up ever again. So this is something of a different scenario, that these people are okay and they're going to go home to their families tonight, no problems. But remember, this is the long weekend. This is the start of summer. The four major causes of serious injury and death is not wearing seatbelts, speeding, failed stop for stop signs, intersections, and alcohol. This one right here consists of not wearing seatbelts and also not stopping for stop signs. The last thing you want right now is to have to be involved in a collision. So it's up to you drivers to make sure that you're paying attention and that you guys keep each other accountable. I just want to thank the fire department for coming out, Chief Warren and all these guys for doing a heck of a job on these cars. I'm pretty sure they enjoy it. I'd like to thank also EMS here for helping us out and assisting. And most of all, I'd like to thank the drama class and the makeup artist for doing an outstanding job. I'd like to thank the sheriffs for coming out. Just remember, guys, when you're going out this weekend, be really careful, okay? Pass it on to your friends. You guys saw this, pass it on to everyone else, and get home safe.
I'm Lynn Roberts, Lieutenant at the Olds Fire Department. We just attended a mock two-car collision, and we did what we would do at any scene. We make sure the cars are secure, there's no hazards to both us, the rescuers, and the people inside the vehicles. And then we start an extrication process where we cut away the vehicle from the injured people, and once we're out of the vehicle, we hand them over to emergency services, who does the further treatment. We always, our rescue truck carries a set of jaws for that cutting away. We also, I was the officer on the pump. The pump supplies protection in case there's a fire, so we run out a hose line that's charged with water so that if a fire does break out, we can protect both the people in the vehicle and the rescuers. We always make sure the scene is safe, so we even have free people around to make sure that nobody else goes in the scene and creates more of a hazard. As people always want to have a look at what's going on at the incident, or maybe a family member comes, so we have an available member that looks after that person and comforts them until we get their loved one out of the vehicle. This mock today was typical of what we see on high impact collisions, where there was one fatality and several other people that are seriously injured. And that fatality is the last person we deal with. So sometimes you go by scenes and you see a blanket on the ground. That's because they no longer need our help, and we don't move them out of the way. We leave them so the RCMP does their investigation, can find out what happened, and if possible, if charges need to be laid.
My name is Sheriff Peter Van Meulen with the Alberta Sheriff Highway Patrol. Basically today we did a mock simulator collision with the fire departments of Olds and the EMS with students from the Olds High School. The reason why we did this is in conjunction with the Traffic Safety Plan of 2010. The month of May is young drivers, and we are targeting young drivers for this month in violations and educational programs. We decided to do an educational program this time around by having two vehicles in a mock intersection collision, which include serious injuries and fatalities. The reason why we did that is our goal for the 2010 traffic plan is to reduce injuries by serious injuries by 30% and 30% of fatalities. And what we wanted the students to see is how serious a collision can be, and that these students are walking away in this situation, but in real life that wouldn't happen. The consequences would be overwhelming. Families would be affected, friends would be affected, the town would be affected, the entire community would be affected if these kids were involved in a serious collision and there would be fatals or serious injuries. And what I mean by serious injuries is serious injuries as in brain injuries, spinal injuries, that young people today wouldn't be walking anymore. They wouldn't be using their limbs anymore. It would be they would be confined to a wheelchair, and that's what we're trying to prevent. And hopefully, the message will get across to the young people that we do care about them, that their future is just as important as anyone else's future, and they are the future of this town, of this community. We want them to create memories that when they go to their 20-year anniversary, those memories will be of good times, not of a collision, not of a fatality. It would be, we don't want them to be discussing, well, we miss Johnny and we miss Sarah for they passed away in that collision, and we just want to show them that it isn't about just always enforcement, but that it's about education, that we do care. We want our kids to come home safe. We want our communities to be safe. We want our highways to be safe. And if we can focus on the targets of intersection enforcement, intersection education, speed enforcement and education, seatbelt enforcement and education, and impaired driving, if we can focus our attention on this and teach our young people, we know that they'll come home at the end of the day. Thank you.